India's Supreme Court has once again ordered protesting doctors back to work, assuring them that no action will be taken against them once they do so. Resident doctors in Rajasthan have decided to resume work in emergency wards as well as intensive care units after the state government ordered medical colleges to form committees to enhance safety at their workplaces. But other physicians are still on the streets demanding justice for the 31-year-old doctor who was raped and killed while at work earlier this month. They are also calling for more protection on duty. Well, earlier this week, the Supreme Court ordered the creation of a national safety task force, which will include resident doctors, and that's to ensure their voices are heard. But the Indian Medical Association has written to the country's health minister, calling on him to push for a law to prevent attacks on doctors. Well, let's go straight to Ishan Garg, who's joining us live from Kolkata. Ishan, first, talk to us about what was discussed in the court proceedings.
Well, the Supreme Court judges came down pretty heavily on the Kolkata police and the Kolkata administration, highlighting that there potentially could have been a number of lapses in terms of how the case was initially handled. The court highlighted the fact that the police actually waited for roughly 12 hours till they filed what's known as an FIR, a first information report. That's usually the starting point for any investigation. They also flagged concerns about how an autopsy was conducted before a case of an unnatural death was filed, and said that that's possibly something that's worth investigating, because there might be concerns that the case couldn't potentially be treated as a murder case until that report was filed. And the doctors here at Garg Hospital, the protesters here, they were following the Supreme Court hearing very closely. They had organized a sitting where they screened the entire hearing, and they were particularly noticing how the Supreme Court is highlighting the role of the former principal of this college, Sandeep Ghosh, who's now been questioned by the Central Bureau of Investigation, the federal investigative body, several times as that investigation progresses. But despite the Supreme Court's intervention, despite the Supreme Court in some sense criticizing and scrutinizing this investigation, the people here feel as though the investigation is still progressing a bit too slowly, and they say that the justice for the victim should be served very quickly.
And Ishan, talk to us a bit about the police presence, and quite a heavy police presence where you are, which is the Garg Medical College. What's the mood like on the ground there?
Well, we saw it earlier in the afternoon as roughly some 150 personnel of the federal police forces, they came in and took charge of the security situation here at Garg Hospital. They're still being assisted and helped by Kolkata police, but their presence here essentially comes as part of wider criticism of Kolkata authorities, of the West Bengal state authorities, that people are starting to lose their faith in the state's police system, with many saying that the police are not doing enough to prevent any attacks on the protesters, particularly referring to an incident that took place on August 14 when a massive group of people barged inside the hospital and damaged property here. Now, I've been speaking to the doctors and the nurses here, asking them what they feel about the police presence, and say that they welcome it because immediately it makes them feel safe. But they say that this cannot be a sustainable solution, because the authorities may not simply have the funds to sustain this heavy a force for a long duration of time. And they say that systemic overhaul of the security system of this hospital and other hospitals across the country needs to be done immediately. And that's something the Supreme Court has also tasked a national task force with, and that move is expected to be completed in the next few weeks.
All right, appreciate the update live from Kolkata. Ishan Garg there.